While the weather is still good, a lot of parents are walking their kids to school or even to the bus stop. Well, with that comes a lot of safety issues. We constantly see pedestrians being hit, especially in those school zones. Here to talk about it with me today is attorney Craig Swap. Hi, Craig. How are you?
I'm well, Jenny. It's so good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us. I know that you're on a work conference trip down in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're nice enough to join us today. So thank you.
Oh, I'm
But
happy to do it.
this is a big issue, and you guys deal with this a lot. So how frequently are you seeing these kind of issues?
Well, these kids, when back to school, I know we've got all kinds of issues with COVID and whatnot, but there's still a lot of kids out on the road right now. And
Yeah.
nationally, 68,000 pedestrians are hit by cars every year.
Wow.
And a lot of those are children, particularly around the time of school.
100%. And, thinking ahead as well with Halloween around the corner, I don't know what Halloween's going to look like, but whether kids are trick-or-treating or they're just out and about in their costumes, I mean, that's another moment where we really have to watch for those kiddos too.
Absolutely. I think it's a two-way street. We've got to teach our kids what to do to be safe, and then we as drivers have to exercise, a lot of caution to make sure that they're safe.
Craig, I'm not a mom, but I'm an aunt. And what's funny is I was babysitting my nieces the other day and I took them on a little bike ride over to the park. And it's funny, no matter how many times you tell a kid, look both ways before you cross the street, they're just in the moment and they forget. So what can parents do to try and teach their kids and instill in them what they need to know?
Well, the biggest thing is to tell them to get off their cell phones. Don't use those when they're out and about.
Yeah.
It's the distraction factor for all of us, but especially for kids. They can't really focus on the dangerous cars that are around them when they see a cool Facebook post or I guess maybe Instagram post for that generation. So I just say I teach them as best you can, but I think almost the onus of all this is on us as drivers.
Yeah.
That we just need to know that kids are unpredictable and to exercise extra caution whenever we see them.
And I'll be honest, I think with COVID happening and the streets were so quiet for a while, all of a sudden I even found myself going, oh my gosh, there are people. And it kind of freaked me out for a minute because, I mean, this is maybe bad to say, but I didn't feel like I was having to watch the road as much because there were so few people. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, there's people out and about. So it's really on us, like you're saying.
Well, absolutely. And I think what I've seen in my neighborhood is that because of COVID, the kids are out more than ever. And so
Totally. Yeah.
Extra careful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, I hope that people don't ever have to call you for a situation like this or, but if they do have an injury case that they need to talk to you, how can they do so?
Well, the best way to reach us is at craigswap.com or 800-404-9000. And we'd be happy to answer any questions or do whatever we can to help.
Perfect. Craig, thank you so much for the info, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Jenny.